What's going on YouTube? It's Ninja Turtle and back once again with a finally finished custom of my Jean Grey X-Men Red custom Marvel Legend. It's been a few months in the making. I put this thing together on stream, I believe it was September, and I've had nothing but problems. I'm not going to go over every issue that I had, but just at least give you advice on trying to avoid some of the problems that I've had with finishing this. It's not that difficult of a thing, and you can definitely take different routes than what I have in finishing it or just making one. But in general, with all of my videos, I will go from the bottom to the top, explaining where all of these parts came from, what paints and things that I use to achieve this, and then give you any alternatives if you want to make your own, so you can try your best to get this done. And then at the end of the video, I will do some comparisons as well, so you can see how she stacks up against other Marvel Legends, as well as just how she looks, height-wise, and just compare it to other Jean Greys and things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so with this Jean Grey build, I may live to regret this. At the same time, I still like it, how it turned out. So you don't have to do this, like I said, with your build, but actually all of her legs, from the shoes, the lower calf leg portion, the knee, everything, the thigh and the hip, all of that came from this MCU Evangeline Lilly Ant-Man and the Wasp figure. All of it, the entire lower portion of this Jean Grey came from this here Wasp. So to achieve this, though, I had to go to this Wasp and sand off all of this detail, because that is, it's just not just painted on, but that is sculpted on to have those lines as raised fabric or raised plastic all over the knees, all over the thighs, all over the legs, all over the shoes. I actually ended up keeping the shoes the same on Jean. You can't really see it, so I didn't really sand it just off, just sanded enough so the paint could stick, but all of the detail on her shoes are still there. But everything else on the legs, the knees, the thighs, and the hips were all sanded away. I'm sorry for the losing focus. Sanded off so to be as smooth as possible, just like regular legs. And then I added epoxy sculpt on the calves here, which I did incorrectly, by the way. Something I didn't realize when I was sculpting it, because it's basically just a band of epoxy sculpt straight going around the leg, but her legs actually have more detail. It kind of goes, it's supposed to go up and down and then back around. It just kind of like a wave type of pattern, going in like 3 different sections. But I only did one band of that, and I did the band incorrectly. So that's my mistake by not looking at the reference materials when I was actually doing it. But 2 of the reasons why I use these legs in particular from this Wasp is, 1, because it had wedges already. The wedges are kind of hard to find. Wedges are shoes, by the way, that are like platform. They're like heels, but they're not like pointed. They're just like platforms. That's the best way I can describe them. But they're wedged heels, wedged shoes, and she already has them. So and I like hers. I like the way they're styled, and I think they worked great for Jean, who, in my eyes, is wearing wedges when in this particular suit. Some views of it, it can look like they're flats, but I like the idea of them being wedges. It looked good to me. Also, another reason why I chose this for the legs is the knee pads. So I was just going to initially swipe the knee pads as is and then just plop them onto the regular legs that I would use for my customs, but these knee pads don't fit on regular legs. They are a little thick in the back and they just don't fit. So I did try sanding away the backside just to make them fit to a regular leg, and I just felt like, you know what, why would I do all that when, 1, these legs actually pop on and pop off. Like I normally use on all my customs, and they, most jean grays are pretty thin anyway, so might as well use the thin legs on jean gray, and it should look fine. And it didn't turn out bad. I mean, one of the things that I don't know if is an issue because of my bad sanding or because of the bad primer, whatever it is, but there's a lot of streaks in there. You can kind of see either the streaks, again, I don't know if it's streaks from sanding or streaks from paintbrush, but there's a lot of streaks in that red, a lot more than I would like for them to be. But overall, it is smooth. Same thing on the blue, it is smooth, as opposed to the rigidness that are on these legs. All right, no more bodies to show off for most of this, but for the most part, the lower torso and the upper torso are pretty much standard around here. This one is a Shikla lower torso and upper torso, although it would have been a very smart and intelligent thing to just use Lady Deadpool, because that would have meant the pin that's connecting these legs, that's already red on Lady Deadpool. So on Shikla, it's purple. So I wouldn't have had to have painted this one if I just use a Lady Deadpool. So if you plan on using the same body that I am, be smarter than I and actually just use the dang Lady Deadpool so the pin is red on the inside and you don't have to worry about painting it. That just is the smarter, better play. It makes sense, makes more sense. I wish I thought about that a couple months ago. But lower and upper torso are from Shikla in particular. Now the button here on her stomach, that comes from in particular, it is the black retro carded Storm of the 90s suit, the bodysuit, the Jim Lee suit, the black version. It doesn't matter which version you use, it's just that's one of her buttons, and I just cut off the pin that goes into her shoulder and cut that off and made it flat and glued it onto here. So one thing, although it didn't really affect this one, but it did affect these pads, which I will get into shortly. If you're going to take something and glue it onto a Marvel Legend custom, you should do that before you paint it. Make sure you paint, or make sure, and that's just the actual piece itself and the body part that you're painting or you're gluing it on. Do not paint anything. Glue everything on first and then do the paint and then do the sealing. I learned that the hard way, so it wasn't that big of a deal on this because I did paint this torso and I did seal the torso and then glue on this this button. It wasn't that big a deal. I haven't had any issues with it. But on these shoulder pads, oh boy. So the shoulder pads themselves, those come from Malekith of all places. He has those shoulder pads, and I just cut them off, made 2 individual pads as opposed to having it all as one piece, and poorly applied them. So I did do a paint the entire torso, and then I tried to glue it on afterward, and I would have had this video up a month ago if everything worked out. But when I was putting it together, the pads came off, and it was just something that ended up delaying me. Even though it shouldn't have taken that long, I just started putting it on my back burner. So recently I resanded the shoulders, removed all the paint, resanded it down so it's back to the base plastic, and re-glued everything on there so it's glued to the base plastic, and then repainted on top of that so it stays on there a lot better now. So like I said, if you're going to glue something to your custom, make sure you glue it before you do any painting on the custom or on that piece, and before you do any sealing and stuff, so it's glued to the actual plastic or to the epoxy sculpt, whatever it is, and then do the painting after that. So that's my advice. Also do a fit test. Like in my last video I said, do a fit test, make sure it fits, so you don't have any issues. That's going to be a issue for an upcoming custom that I will not be talking about yet, but fit test and glue everything first. The arms themselves are just standard arms. I wish I remember what character they came from, but I don't. But these forearms are from what's her name? Songbird. Songbird. Yeah. So these are actually Songbird arms. And although the comic version of this costume does not have this ribbed pattern, I thought it was suitable enough because I've said it before. I don't like putting epoxy sculpt on places that have parts that go work in and out, like swappable hands and stuff. Once you put those hands in there and there's epoxy sculpt wrapped around the forearm, it's going to basically bust the epoxy sculpt. So I didn't want to add any sculpt to the forearm, and I didn't want to leave it just regular painted forearms. So using these forearms on Songbird was a nice compromise, and I think it looks pretty good. If you wanted to, you can also use the same forearms that are on in particular, they're on the Polaris. They're more accessible on Polaris, but the little forearm bands on her. But also they're on this Jean Grey from the Love Triangle 3-pack, which we might as well have her up here now. If I can set this up and her not fall over, that'd be nice. But yeah, the Love Triangle 3-pack Jean Grey is the way is this head, I should say, the extra head that came from there. So you know, she comes with the ponytail or she comes with this big hair, and all I did to this is made it gloss. All the blue on there, so underneath her chin and her forehead, that is just gloss Mod Podge sealer. I didn't repaint it, I didn't remove any paint, didn't take her hair off, didn't do anything different to it other than add that gloss. All of the blue on here has a gloss sealer finish, and all of the red has a matte finish, so it shouldn't look as shiny on the red as it does on the blue. But yeah, you could use these forearms on this Jean Grey if that's something that floats your boat. Or again, Polaris has the same ones, but they're green, so you'd have to paint them. But that's about it. While we're here, here's your Jean Grey comparison. You see their heights aren't all that different, despite the fact that she's on flats and she's on wedges, and she has big hair and she doesn't. But yeah, the height isn't all that different. The legs are about the same size, and everything. The only difference here is the colors of blue. And one of the things that one of the reasons I should say I chose to do X-Men Red as opposed to doing, I guess it would be called the Dawn of X version, because Jean Grey does wear this suit still, but instead of red, it's this greenish, goldish, or green, wow, goldish yellow color instead of the red, but it's basically the same suit for what it's worth. And I didn't want to do that because this suit is the 90s suit right here, and her new suit is basically the 90s suit, but with a little bit different armor, like with this armor. And I didn't like that. Like, I love the red. I love that it was like a new take on her 90s suit, and it stands out on its own. It's really vibrant and it's really powerful to me. So I really like the red version, the red and blue, as opposed to the current gold and blue version of that of that suit. So that's why I chose to do that version. If I wanted to do another suit and then just make it that modern Dawn of X gold and blue, I would just buy another one of these and then just take off probably the belt and the, you know, it wouldn't look all that much different. Maybe sand off these pouches on her thigh. It really doesn't look all that different, and that's why I do like it, but I don't like it enough because it doesn't differentiate itself from her 90s look. Alright, here she is, just a little bit taller than her Age of Apocalypse self. Only reason why we're going to do this comparison really quick is because one, this head is very easily accessible, so it's kind of my go-to head for Jean Grey. So when I make future Jean Greys, hint hint, I will be doing plenty more. I'm going to be using this head for all of those if I don't already have Like in this case, I have an extra head from the Love Triangle 3-pack. I threw it on this one, and my Madeline Pryor has the extra head from the Dark Phoenix 2-pack. So any other Jean Greys will just be using heads like this. Secondly, the legs are bigger, in particular on the thighs, than on this Jean Grey, and as well as the Love Triangle, as well as all of the other Jean Greys, the Phoenix, the Dark Phoenix. They all are on these same thinner legs, but these bigger legs are what I prefer her to be on, given her height and her weight. Again, off the top of my head, I think she's 5'7", 130. I like to use a thinner leg on a lighter person, so I think Jean should have legs like this, as well as the Black Queen version. She does have bigger legs like this. So going forward, it's one of the reasons why I didn't want to use these legs, but like I said, ended up working out for the knee pads and the wedges, but I want to use these legs on all of my Jean Greys going forward. So I will be, at least I'm planning on remaking a Phoenix and a Dark Phoenix, although I don't really need to. I have them both. I didn't grab them for this comparison, but I do want to redo them for Marvel vs. Capcom shelf that I've been building. Also to correct some of the things that they didn't do quite right with Phoenix, although I love the Dark Phoenix, so I'm not mad at that one. But still want to do some changes to those without actually modifying what I have. So I'll just build new bodies basically. And then as far as other Jean Greys go, I guess I'll just leave that as a surprise. I think you can probably figure out at least one other Jean Grey I plan on making, but outside of that, the other ones I will just leave those as a surprise. I am a huge Jean Grey fan. I wanted to get this right as possible. One thing that does frustrate me, I didn't mention this before, on her torso, that is lower there on this right hip. The pin in there is just bent down, and I tried to fix it, and I'm very frustrated that I couldn't, but it makes her just a little off-sided, so her one hip is lower than the other. It's like they're tilted like that, so that stinks. But I'm a huge Jean Grey fan. I love her to death. She is my number one. I should say my 1A, my 1B is Kitty Pryde. I love them both dearly, but I plan on making many Jean Greys. So this is officially the first one, although I did the Black Queen remake or rework in my previous video, but this is the first one from scratch that I've done, and I do definitely plan on making more. I actually forgot to mention in that Black Queen, the Hellfire Club video, that I do plan on making a comic book accurate version of her as Black Queen with the blue cape, the red underneath that cape, and then the bare thighs and the boots and all of that. I do plan on doing that hopefully soon, hopefully very soon. I do want to get that done either in December or January. I've got a lot of plans, but I also need to take a break first. So after this video goes up, I probably won't be making any customs or any other videos or doing anything else for a little while, so I can play on my PlayStation 5, because that's coming very soon, and just get some good gaming in, because it's been a couple months since I've played any games and had any fun around here. But make sure you still subscribe to this channel. I will continue to upload videos. I'm not done making customs, not by a long shot. And also join me on Twitch. I do live stream, twitch.tv/ninja_chortle, where I live stream painting and sculpting and assembly. So I'll be putting customs together on there, so you can see exactly how that process goes as well. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well. You can see pictures I upload there. I've been trying to upload new pictures of just presenting these in a different way, not just them standing around. I haven't shared any of those yet, but I've been trying to get some interesting shots. I do have some of Black Cat that I'd like to share at some point. that I think were pretty fun. So also, hope you guys like the fully white ground now. I had this in the last video. It's just a poster board, but before it was all this wood grain on these coffee tables or TV trays, TV tables. But now it's all white, so we got that going for us. Making upgrades, a whole 33 cents upgrade. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys next time.